Hello out there, this is Wakeangel2K1 giving you a video review of the ultimate thing that I found at Rhode Island Comic Con, the Transformers Collectors Club exclusive Depth Charge figure. Now, Depth Charge is based off of the Terradive mold, a really cool deluxe introduced to us around the time of the second movie. A figure that I always kind of regretted not getting. It did have a remold space case, which was Target exclusive, and was made almost entirely out of translucent plastic, and was a character that was supposed to be an idiot, so, you know, no Terradive. But still, if you were going to make any figure into Depth Charge, this was probably the best one. As you can see, he is done up in Depth Charge's colors from the Beast Wars cartoon, which is mostly that light blue with some pink highlights. There's a nice little fading effect on the pink. It's brighter up front and then it fades in the back. And they even picked out those little intakes at the front of the plane to look like eyes with little pupils. And if you look, he's the cockpit sorta kinda has a mouth. That seam there, if you look at it at the right angle, you can see like there's little teeth inside. I don't know if they actually kind of redid that for the sake of the mold, but you know, he kind of, I mean, this kind of evokes a shark from the front, but from certain angles with the way the wings go, you can kind of see a manta ray in this. Because you gotta remember, in Beast Wars, he was a transmetal, meaning he was a pseudo triple changer. He had a robot mode, a beast mode, which is a robotic manta, and then a vehicle mode, which was a spaceship, which actually resembled the spaceship that he arrived on Earth on. And I have a little yappy dog sitting right next to me. Let me calm her down. Pet sitting, you know how that goes. All right, so. The under kibble is actually pretty well contained. Everything folds away and hides in such a way that you don't really clearly see arms and legs that much. And there is weapon storage. You can keep his little trident there. There's a little C-clip right here for it, and then it clips here as well. And he has not one, but 3 landing gears, which do their job of holding the figure up off the ground, so it's not just a plane resting on its belly, and they fold away so that you can have a plane that looks like it can fly. Now, for the time that this figure was made, in the late mid-2000s, this is actually really, really good engineering. I remember when it came out, there were a lot of people who were talking about how it was probably one of the best deluxe molds ever up to that point. And it holds up even to today. Now, the complexity of the transformation is a little bit higher. Remember, this was kind of a movie toy where they wanted everything to be all complex and impressive, but it's not so much so that it gets annoying. Still, let's move on to the robot mode so we can talk about that. And here is Depth Charge in his robot mode. I gotta say, I'm really impressed at the amazing engineering of this guy. How all the robot parts just emerge from inside the plane, and how the plane just completely dismantles itself in some rather impressive ways, and then puts itself back together again in this completely new configuration that's just so great. Yeah, like, he has these giant wing boot things going on, and like there's so much purpose in every movement, and like there's even his feet of all things have a touch of automorph. Let's do his foot transformation. Just like you see in plane mode, they're all folded in like this. Then you like pull that out, and like they have this kind of pseudo dynamic reveal. Like, well, I thought it was interesting. So yeah, like this guy is impressive. I mean, he doesn't really have much of a backpack at all. This guy carries virtually no real kibble, and the way his cockpit, it actually like comes forward and opens out and does all kinds of stuff to just, like, this guy is impressive. He is not lazy at all. I can see why he was one of the favorite Transformers of that year. And despite some movie influences, I really don't think that this mold suffers for it. I mean, I never was one to like the movie aesthetic because I always felt like it was a skeletal robot wearing random vehicle parts. But this actually looks like a robot that legitimately turns into something. Like, he's not cheating by wearing his alt mode as a trench coat or a cape or something. Alright, so let's get a nice zoom in. Check out the head. I believe that the head was original tooling for the Transformers Collector Club, which is one of the reasons why these figures can get so expensive, and why I was absolutely gobsmacked to find it in a used Transformers bin, especially considering it was brand new. Yeah, and you kind of had the look there. You have that little goatee thing he had going on because he had no visible mouth in the cartoon. He has fins. He has some fuchsia light piping. Yeah, all good. Very, very Pterodive-esque face. Pterodive was a mold he's based off of. Very Depth Charge-esque face. You go down, he has the Maximal symbol on his chest. Gotta love that. He is a Maximal, not an Autobot. Then, like, everything, just like all of his pink meaty fish chunks, his yellow hands, his gray parts, like, yeah, all of that is captured wonderfully. And of course, I did bring out his weapon earlier. You simply unfold it, and then you turn it from a spear into a trident. Yes, it's an impressively long weapon, taller than the figure is, and it has two grippy points, one here and one here, for some, wielding. You just gotta push the thin part into his hand, and then the thick part into the 5mm hole, and there you go. And then you can use his articulation that I'm going to get into in a bit to just get the other part where it needs to be. And boom, you have him two-hand wielding a spear, like some kind of Atlantean guard. That just looks so nice. Everything just wonderfully fits so beautifully and perfect. It's all so great. If there's only one weakness, I'd say that the tabs that hold his wings in on his legs could stand to be a tiny bit stronger, but it's not that bad. Maybe if you're posing around too roughly, they might come out, but they go back in easily enough. All right, so awesome accessory, awesome repaint job, great new head. I'd recommend him, but like I said, it's a Transformers Collector Club exclusive. I was extremely lucky to find one. I think at this point, the only hope you would have is to trawl around eBay for somebody who got it themselves and is bored of it. Seriously, how the heck did I find this? I'm still shocked. I'm even more shocked at the fact that it was in that bin for 3 days and no one else snatched him up. Hidden gimmick. If you untransform his forearm and then fold his hand back away, I rotated his wrist, so yeah. His hand only fits into his forearm one way. Then boom, the little jet engine becomes a blaster arm. Yeah, a Mega Man style Mega Buster type thing going on here. So yeah, so his transformation can actually be used to give him a weapon hand. This figure is just so wonderful. Alright, so while I was turning around, you saw he has a really nice ball-jointed head. Just got to be careful not to unseat the platform on which it stands. He has shoulders. They go out about this far, and they, of course, rotate. He has a bicep swivel and a double-jointed elbow that goes all the way, because it's partially for transformation. There's no waist joint given the way all this chunk comes together here. I don't really see how he could have engineered that in there. I mean, what they did was impressive enough. I think asking for a waist joint at this point would be a little bit greedy. You know, giving him a waist joint would have meant taking away the wonderfully complicated and intricate chest transformation. Look, he kind of has even more of a mouth in this mode. The way that's open, so it looks even more like he's transformed from an animal. So like the beast mode is effectively homage, and that's great. He has ball jointed hips with a fantastic range, a thigh swivel, a knee that gets a solid 90. Which can accomplish quite a lot because it's a very deep bend, and he has a nice thin legs. Look at that. Look at that. This figure is so easy to pose dynamically and awesomely. So, yeah. And the feet, once fully transformed, they don't really move. I mean, you can do that. This is a pretty well balanced figure. See, that's the one thing. That little peg there is a little bit weak, but yeah. There we go. I took advantage of his foot articulation to get him into a really, really weird stance. Yeah. Okay, now I'm just playing with the toy. But yeah, Pterodive. The Pterodive mold is awesome. You see how I say that? And this repaint into oh god, how did I forget that now? Depth charge. This repaint into depth charge is equally impressive. This is a fantastic toy. I don't know if you can easily get this guy, but either the Pterodive or Space Case repaints are going to be relatively easy to find compared to this. So I would totally recommend any version of this mold. The fact that I got the really rare Collectors Club exclusive Beast Wars homage is just my good fortune. But honestly, this is a fantastic Transformer, and anybody should be able to add it to their collection. It's just great. It's freaking great. Totally go get it. Wakeangel2K1 fully approved. Alright, so I'm going to sign off and hope that this didn't drag on too long like my last review did.